Mother's Day will be here before we know it. And just because you want to spoil mom, and she deserves to be spoiled, doesn't mean you need to break the bank. And we have author of 23andMe, Annika Caldwell, back to tell us how we can stick to a budget this upcoming weekend. Thank you so much for coming back.
Thank you.
Okay, so just quick background. You are debt-free. You had big debt, and then you worked at it and you made some changes. Can you give us just a quick 1-minute summary of how you got to where you are now before we get into staying on a budget this weekend?
Yeah, so my husband and I got married. We're staring down the barrel at a lot of debt and decided we wanted to tackle it. We didn't want to raise our kids, where we were worried about these monthly payments. And so in the course of about 26 months, we paid off just under $97,000 worth of debt. And we learned a lot throughout that process, and during that time kind of inspired that book that we wrote as well. And one of the things that we learned kind of fits in perfectly with what we're talking about this morning is we really started to become aware of how much we spend at holiday times. And that's actually something that we talk about in our book even. And I was looking at the statistics from Christmas, because that tends to be the really big one. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And this last Christmas, the average American actually incurred just over $1,200 worth of debt.
Credit card debt, so easy.
Yeah, it's so easy. And I think Mother's Day isn't necessarily a holiday that comes with quite as much debt, but also a holiday that we're going to want to be really intentional during.
It all adds up. And moms want to have some love shown to them, and they deserve it. Do you have some advice on how to still celebrate mom? Your mom, how many kids do you have?
I have 3 now.
3?
Yes.
Well, so you know that you have 3 kids that want to do something special for you. What's some advice on how to still celebrate while being conscious of your budget?
Yeah, so as a mom, I really know the things I love. But I wasn't sure what other moms thought. So this last week, I put a poll out on Facebook, and I simply asked, what would you rather get for Mother's Day? And the 2 choices were a gift or a clean kitchen and a nap. And I was sure to specify. Yeah, I know, right? That was me. I was like, I definitely want a clean kitchen and a nap. But I didn't know what other moms wanted. And so I was like, well, let's find out. And I specified that a gift would be something unique to her, something that was really meaningful, not just, some gift card or whatever. And when the poll came back, only 30% of moms actually preferred the gift, whereas 70% of moms really just wanted a clean kitchen and a nap. But what I think lent itself to even more insight was the comment section on that poll. And it was interesting to hear from moms. And a lot of the moms that wanted a gift really wanted something that was simple and homemade. Something from their kids that maybe their husband helped their kids create, but that nice little memento that they can tuck away, and it reminds them of that Mother's Day. One mom mentioned making, those stepping stones for the garden where you can put your kids' handprints or footprints. And I know we did that for my grandma when I was little.
For sure, we all have those memories.
Yeah. But then the other thing that became really apparent on that post too is a couple other things moms like is a lot of moms really like the day off from cooking. So thinking about those different things that maybe rather than spending on mom, what can you do for mom? What can you take off her plate? Something that she typically does, like cooking, that you can take off her plate for the day. A tradition at my house was actually breakfast in bed. So growing up, my brother and I always got out of bed and, delivered breakfast in bed to my mom. And so thinking about how can you be really thoughtful with that giving and give something that matches her. And if it is a gift that matches her, then thinking about, okay, what's my budget? How can I stay within my budget and still give her a gift that matches her?
And if anyone's going to appreciate that, it's going to be mom.
Absolutely.
You're not putting yourself into debt, just a treat or two. So, well, thank you so much for coming in, kind of thinking about Mother's Day a little bit differently, something from the heart.
Yes.
Stay with us. Coming up here on North Dakota Today, we're checking back in with Chris Berg to talk about the importance of eye exams.